What is up, everyone? It is Hyper. For those who don't know, I am a senior in high school. This is partly why my upload schedule has been pretty bad and there have been fewer streams. Why am I telling you this? Well, I've finally come up with a story to revive my upload schedule. So at my school, we had a choice at the beginning of the year to go to school in person on an A-B schedule, meaning you would be either an A day or a B day based on your last name, and you would go to school every other day with your half of the alphabet. And on the days you weren't at school, you would do online class. The other option was to do completely online school. Now, I know most people would probably go with the second option, given the two, and that was my original thought. But the more I thought about it, I realized how little work I would actually get done during the day, so I opted to do the AB schedule. And it turned out to be pretty good. I was able to keep decent grades while also having a decent amount of free time, to the point where I was actually able to do school and stream every single day. After a while, there was talk about going back to school 5 days a week, which after months of having to go to school 2 to 3 times a week, was kind of not pog. So it got announced around January that the school district would see how things are going in terms of how many cases there are, etc. And then they would make a decision based on that. So after this gets announced, they do a bit of checking and decide, nope, not ready to go back to school. February rolls around, they push it to March. At this point, I'm having really high hopes that I can finish out my high school career without ever having to go back to normal school and just chill with the 2 to 3 days that we're already having. But then we get to March. We get a phone call from the school district and they say, yo, we think things are looking pretty good. It's time for you guys to go back 5 days a week. And that was rough. Here we are, present day. It's week 2 of 5 days a week, and it sucks. Thankfully, it's only been a 4-day week, and this week has only been a 3-day week, so we haven't really got the full force of 5 days a week. But it's the fact that you have to go multiple days in a row. It's awful. But anyways, with all the COVID protections and stuff in place, things at school have been pretty strange aside from just a schedule. One thing that has changed is we have to walk down the hallways in certain directions. They have like these arrows on the ground that tell you which direction that you have to go in the hallways. Kind of weird, but makes sense. It is kind of a huge pain though when you have a class that is like 2 feet away from you, but you have to go down another hallway and then walk back up to get to that class just because of these arrows. They don't make any exceptions whatsoever. So it can be kind of a pain, but otherwise it's not too bad. Another thing is we have 4 separate lunches as opposed to the typical 2 lunches throughout the day. Now, I go to a pretty decent sized school. We have, I think, around 2,000 or almost 2,000 people at our school. So there are quite a few people. So 2 lunches is not enough. There's not enough room to hold all these people. So yeah, they've had to split it up into 4 separate lunchtimes. There are also like so many more tables to see everyone 6 feet apart. It's weird. There's just tables throughout all the hallways, and it's very strange. Another thing is we also have desk shields, which if you don't know what those are, you're lucky. It's basically a giant plastic shield that goes on your desk to make it basically just like a cubicle. It's the worst. The biggest flaw with it's the fact that it's not entirely transparent. It's slightly cloudy. So when you're looking through 5 desk shields sitting in the back of the class, to see the board in the front of the room is nearly impossible. It's very hard to take notes in class because of these, and it's terrible. It's like looking through a kaleidoscope. It does not work. And then obviously one of the biggest things is we have to wear masks. It makes sense. I mean, you have to wear masks on pretty much every public place at this point. It's kind of become the norm. I'm so used to wearing a mask that I put it on anytime I go somewhere, even though like you don't necessarily need it everywhere you go. But it's a pretty simple rule, and it has become a rule at my school. You are required to wear a mask unless you want to do like OSS or something, I think is the punishment. It's a simple rule. You put on a piece of cloth over your face covering your nose and mouth. It's not that hard to follow. Yet apparently is the most difficult rule to follow because there are so many people that simply refuse to wear their mask. You can look around the school at any time and pretty much count dozens of people without masks. It's kind of baffling. Like, I can understand not wanting to wear a mask, right? It is kind of uncomfortable. It is kind of like not the most fun thing to do. But when it is a school rule and it is for the protection of you and other people, I just feel like people should suck it up and wear it. And then I don't know. Worse than that though is the fact that most teachers don't do anything about it. If somebody's not wearing their mask, they either ask them to or do absolutely nothing about it. And some teachers, get this, don't even wear their mask. It's kind of insane, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like if you did and subscribe if you're new. And with that, I will see you all in the next video.